I really don't care about this game because they didn't have Shedeur out there. So realistically, I'm not watching the Browns until they put Shedeur in the game. I just looked at the stats honestly, but when it comes to the Browns, if Shedeur is not playing, I'm not watching the Browns, and I'm gonna start the petition for real.
The NFL is supposed to be untouchable. It's supposed to be the unstoppable juggernaut of American sports. Strange has happened. Something the league never thought it would face. The numbers are dropping, the buzz is fading, and the spotlight is dimming. And there's one glaring reason behind it all. Shedeur Sanders isn't playing for the Cleveland Browns.
They're not going to do it. The right conversation to have is when we're going to hold these owners accountable for colluding against Shedeur Sanders and trying to destroy his career, humiliate him, and exclude him, like they did black people doing Jim Crow. That's the real conversation.
The NFL without Shedeur has turned into a party missing its main attraction. You can have the music, the food, the lights, but if the guest of honor doesn't show up, no one cares. The spark that was supposed to electrify every Sunday just isn't there. Fans were promised fireworks, and instead, they're getting reruns.
Speculate on things, but there were reports that Kevin Stefanski did not want him to be on the team and didn't want to draft him, and then they went around him and drafted him anyways and forced that pick. So it's entirely possible Kevin Stefanski is like, you know what, I didn't want you on this team. I'm being forced to have you on this team, but you're not really going to be on this team if I have anything to do with it, which is absurd.
Yeah, it was a Haslam call.
For years, the NFL has thrived on personalities as much as performance. Brady wasn't just a quarterback, he was an era. Mahomes isn't just a passer, he's a spectacle. And Shedeur Sanders, but with him sitting out, whether by cautious coaching decisions, front office politics, or sheer bad timing, the league feels incomplete.
When the Cleveland Browns selected Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round of the 2025 NFL Draft, they knew they was bringing in a player who fans would want to see him play. However, they also knew that they were not going to play him right off the bat.
Look at the numbers. Television executives are sweating bullets, advertisers are grumbling, and social media chatter has shifted from game highlights to endless debates about when Shedeur will finally step on in charisma and pressure. The son of Deion Sanders, raised in the glow of expectation and groomed to carry both a name and a franchise into the future. That kind of player doesn't come around. The NFL is dragging its feet, and the ratings are paying the price.
Nothing in sports has ever angered me more than what the NFL has done to Shedeur Sanders. The Browns showed you their hand by taking Dillon Gabriel 50 slots higher than they wound up taking Shedeur. The head coach, Kevin Stefanski, did not want Shedeur Sanders.
The Cleveland Browns are caught in the middle of it all. On one hand, they have to protect their investment, make sure Shedeur develops at the right pace, and not throw him into the fire too soon. On the other hand, every week he's on the bench, the pressure builds, the criticism intensifies, and the league suffers. The Browns didn't just acquire a quarterback, they inherited the responsibility of feeding the NFL's biggest storyline.
Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, and the fans ready to see Shedeur. Matter of fact, Rizzo, ESPN Cleveland radio host, went off again. I'm telling you, Rizzo said, will I get a chance to see my guy by the end of the season this year?
Fans don't want patience. They don't want excuses. They want to see Shedeur drop back, sling the ball, and light up field. Without it, games feel flat, rivalries feel muted, and the entire season feels like it's missing the drama that makes football king.
Here's what they don't want. They don't want Shedeur to win the locker room, because right after week 1, what was happening was all of the conversation about Stefanski losing the locker room. We don't really know if people are jealous or not, and it don't matter. And you shouldn't be surprised. You shouldn't be surprised. This happened at Colorado. People were jealous of Travis, it was said.
The chaos doesn't stop with ratings. The NFL thrives on momentum, on headlines, on the constant drumbeat of must-see moments. Shedeur sitting out has created a vacuum, and in sports, a vacuum is deadly. Instead of viral highlights, the conversation is stuck on what isn't happening. Instead of celebrating touchdowns, fans are glued to speculation about when he'll finally debut.
Shedeur Sanders, we got to talk about him really fast because
He's a third string quarterback.
Right.
Now, Cleveland Browns, they got one or two decisions. They're gonna have to play him or trade him. I'm gonna call it first.
Andrew Berry, the Browns' general manager, finds himself under the brightest spotlight of all. He pulled the trigger to bring Shedeur to Cleveland, a move that shocked the entire league. Now, every decision he makes is being second-guessed. Is he protecting his star, or is he wasting the NFL's golden opportunity? Is he building for the future, or suffocating the present?
They don't want the guy. The owner don't want him. The coach don't want him. The general manager don't want him. They don't want him on the team. Obviously, the NFL do not want Shiloh or Shedeur in the league, but Shedeur is good for money and ratings, or he wouldn't even be there. They don't ever want him to play.
Meanwhile, rival teams are licking their chops. The AFC North should be the most electric division in football. Burrow, Lamar, and Shedeur squaring off like gladiators every season. But with Shedeur's eye-lined, the stage feels incomplete. Rivals know that once he's unleashed, everything changes. Until then, they're cashing in on the silence.
I don't know. Did Shedeur dress today? Was he there? Why would you? Why? And that's how I know y'all playing him for these clicks. Y'all are playing him for these clicks, and I'm not for it. I'm not for it.
The NFL has always thrived on unpredictability, but this chaos feels different. This isn't the excitement of a last-second field goal or a jaw-dropping Hail Mary. This is frustration, anticipation turned sour, and fans wondering if they're being strung along. And in a league where every Sunday is supposed to feel like a holiday, that's dangerous territory. Every sports show in America will revolve around his every throw. The league knows this. The fans know.
So you mean to tell me the Cleveland Browns listed Shedeur Sanders as inactive today? Inactive? Yo, look, man.
This isn't just about Cleveland anymore. This is about the NFL protecting its crown. In a world of endless entertainment options, the league can't afford to stumble. It can't afford to let the hype train derail. It can't afford to let fans drift away because the biggest name isn't playing. And that's the irony. The NFL has always prided itself on being bigger than any single player. But right now, it feels like the entire league is being held hostage by the absence of one. Shedeur Sanders doesn't just belong to the Browns, he belongs to the NFL as a whole. And until he's out there, the product feels hollow.
You've been able to have an explanation for everything on why he's not good, why he can't play, but explain why you won't allow him to practice. Explain why you won't allow him to actually get better. Y'all are making it very obvious. You just want to bury him and so we can just stop talking about him. But at this point, the story is too big. Everything about this has been blown way out of proportion.
The collapse of ratings isn't just a warning sign, it's a demand. A demand for action, a demand for urgency, a demand for sharper, and the league's aura of invincibility weaker. For now, the NFL is in limbo. The storylines are stale, the buzz is muted, and the most exciting prospect in football is stuck on the sidelines. But one thing is clear, when Shedeur Sanders finally takes that field for the Browns, everything changes. The chaos ends, the ratings soar, and the league gets its crown jewel back. Until then, the NFL remains in dangerous territory, powerful but incomplete, and desperate for the spark only Shedeur can provide.